going on, everybody? This is Aaron with Toy Box Talking. Today we're going to do some Lego Technics. Lego Technics. This is something that I grew up with as a kid. Man, when I first got my first Lego Technic set, I was jazzed. First Lego set that I've ever seen where the bricks actually had holes in them. Realizing that there was pegs, joints, suspension, turning, all kinds of cool little gadgets came with Technics. Now, we're going to do just a short little history of Lego Technics that I came up with doing some research and learning throughout my time period of playing with Lego Technics. Now, it all started back in 1977. They weren't named Lego Technics though. They were called Expert Builders. So they weren't called Lego Technics until like 1984 was when the Technic name finally landed. That logo took over everything. Lego Techniques, I can't say enough about them. From, like I said, you have the turning gadgets where you have the knob on the top to make the wheels turn, to the pumping pistons from where the wheels spin, to the opening chassis, to the full suspension. They had it all once they released it. I was a super Lego fan, building houses and cities and cars and creating, but once these technical pieces came out, I feel like this is when it really captivated the adult. So in 1977, they released the first model, and it was number 850. The first model consists of a forklift. It had the forks that actually lifted up and down. It was all yellow. It had the pegs or the holes inside the Lego bricks themselves. Super cool little unit. Great start off on the shelves. Great to pump it out. Only to follow right behind in 1978, you had number 853, and this was called the Auto Chassis. This was their first, like, I would say stock car / Formula One car, but there wasn't a lot of detail to it. I mean, it was really basic, but for being Lego Technic and the rides that they were doing, they were on the market and it was pushing out. People loved it. And then you had to go and hit us with another one in 1980. This set was number 857. This was a motorized bike with a sidecar. Now this one, super cool. It was blue, had a red gas tank, sidecar. It was detachable. You could hang out with your friends and have them play with it, hook it together and take off. Neat little piece. And then you had one in 1982. They released the 850, number 850 in 1982. This was the revolutionary breakthrough because it was a motorized universal building. Now it was like a skyscraper that turned into a crane. It was all blue and it like actually had a motorized controller where you can like make the elevator go up or the crane arm move out. A very cool universal piece. I can't explain how many hours I played with that thing over at my uncle's house. Then we jumped over to 1984. This was number 8020. It was another universal set, only this one was a yellow construction truck. And the truck could turn into an oil rig or a yellow hot helicopter. So it was like the breakthrough for it being a three-way build now. And when that happened for Technic, it really started captivating because to know that you can build from one unit to the next unit to the next unit all out of one box, I mean, who wouldn't want to pay the money for that? You don't have to build just one thing anymore. So everybody was all about it. Then you moved over to 1986. This set was called the Arctic Rescue Unit. This one was pretty cool. It was like a little 4-track four-wheeler, and then it came with like this big Arctic ice truck. It looked like something that you'd see on the side of like a ski mountain resort, where it was like the medical field, they come and save you type thing. Neat little unit for, especially back for 1986, I believe I said. Then you got 1988. That was the buggy. that was this piece that I got bouncing around here. This was a really good breakthrough for him. I mean, they had the blue seats again, all the red trim. Red was really big for Technics, just to let you know. It was red, yellow, gray, holes in the pieces, pegs, gears, rotors, rubber bands, wheels, all of it. You could always depict a Lego Technic piece from the rest of the Legos because they always had a neat little shape to them. So we're going to jump over to 1992. This set was released to you truckers out there. This one was called number 8868, the Air Tech Rig. Now, I'm not a big trucker. I do drive trucks, but I'm not a big trucker. But this truck set was cool, man. It was about this big, this wide, black and yellow concept, super cool color concept to it. By the time you had it built in, it's a great shelf piece. Great shelf piece to say, I built this, it came out great, it looks great. And then only to follow us back in 1995 with the number 8460. This was a numeric crane truck. This was a huge yellow crane truck. And the crane actually come down, pick things up, and put it back. It was really a neat concept for Legos. Hours and hours of a build for back then. I remember only one friend having it, only because I do believe it was a very expensive unit. And then in 1998, they gave us this number 8462, the tow truck. Now, I love the tow truck because it's cool as heck. It's blue, but the rims on it kind of came off like a lowrider, and I don't see really sticking lowrider rims on a tow truck from the road. But it was a cool truck, cool build, a lot of pieces. Spent some great time building it, had some fun with that too. Now only to move us over to the new millennium, they didn't pump really a lot out now. We came to 2001 with number 8466. This was a 4x4 off-road truck. This was pretty neat. Then there was the 3-year gap from until 2007 when they came out with the bulldozer motorized set. This was number 8275. This was pretty neat. It was a bulldozer that hooked up to a remote control that you can actually move around with the remote control. So to incorporate remote control with Lego and then Technic, it's mind-blowing what Lego has been able to provide for us. Only to follow that with a great follow-up of number 8297, another off-roader. Only this off-roader, you can split into 2 different types. So now they took the original off-roader idea and it was like, listen, why don't we do something where it's like a 4x4 truck and a 4x4 buggy. And that's the concept they came up with it. So great release for us. And then in 2010, Lego released number 8109. This was a flatbed truck. So big that you could put your other Lego cars on top of it. That was a pretty neat release for us. We really enjoyed that build only because it took hours for that build, and then to be able to realize you could put your other Legos that you spent hours on top of that was even better, because the idea to put them on top and then to display them all with it was super awesome. So thanks Lego, great idea. And then of course with another 3-year gap you had 2013. 2013 brought us number 42,000. It was a Grand Prix car. This thing was super epic. The Grand Prix car had all new shapes, curves, cuts to it. Lego outdid themselves. This was, I feel, the breakthrough in the years that Lego decided, you know what, let's stop with the basic and start curving and cutting and aerodynamic and really creating all these new models and makes up to what we have today with 2016 with that Porsche 11 GT3 RS, that orange monster. That thing looked like an RC car, but it was so much detail and so much fun and a great build. Hours of fun for that one, by the way, but great build. Then 2017 they released the 42066, the Air Race Jet. That thing was crazy. Oh, by the way, the Porsche was number 42056. Just to release that information. I know some people need that the number information so they can backtrack for that. So with all that being said, you guys, I want you guys to keep in mind this small history that I just blurted out real quick to you guys was just the basic models of the revolutionary breakthrough for Technic. So they weren't the only ones they released for that year. There was a lot of models before, prior, and after those models that we just discussed. So in between all those years, a lot of things got released that we didn't go over. I just kind of went over the ones that were the help of the revolutionary turn of Technics, from the angles, the shapes, the cuts, to the models, to the growth. So I really hope you guys enjoyed the segment and stuck around with me and listened to me babble on about Legos. And once again, I love Legos, even if they are the basic ones or if they're the Technic ones. However, I enjoy the Technic ones only because I feel that by the time I'm done building them, they're a little bit more of an accomplishment. I do see those architect pieces. I was thinking about getting in a couple of them. Maybe we'll do a couple architect builds. So if you guys enjoyed what you saw today, don't forget to hit the like. And be sure to definitely share with your friends. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. And don't forget to hit those notifications. Listen, thanks for sticking around with Toy Box Talk, guys. And we'll see you next time.